Then I went again.
Well, he said, spiritual dimension.
How precious and how important the Lord is. He have a family.
Everyone else was astonished.
In 1977, Dr. Moshe Feldman specialized in cardiac intensive care. He was present in 770 during the Rebbe's heart attack and was among the first responders.
We were in the back of the shul in Crown Heights. It was very crowded. It was Shmini Atzeres. And with my children and I were on the bleachers, the old bleachers that used to be in the back of the shul. And all we knew is that the shul was very crowded, the Zal was very crowded, and suddenly everyone's screaming, "Everyone get out, the Rebbe needs air." There were about at least 10, 12 physicians who were in the shul at the time, there to also everyone wanting to assist the Rebbe in any way possible. I went into the Rebbe's room to see how the Rebbe was doing. And the Rebbe looked at me, and it was just the Rebbe and me in the room. The Rebbe looked at me and said, "How are things going?" So I thought to myself, he knows more about his cardiac status, his physical status than I probably do. So somehow the idea came into my mind to tell him, I still see the Hasidim dancing and singing. I still see people dancing and singing even in the streets. The Rebbe looked at me and smiled and shook his head yes. So at that moment, when he said, "How are things going?" I did not discuss his physical status. I just, that was the answer I gave, and that was the answer he was happy with. As I said, there were a good 10 or 12 doctors there, physicians, and most of them, everybody wanted the Rebbe to go to the hospital. The Rebbe refused. One by one, the other physicians who were there had left. They figured there was just nothing more they could do for the Rebbe. Dr. Richter was able to secure, by one means or another, a cardiac monitor. He liberated some of the equipment from a local facility. And we did hook the Rebbe up to a cardiac monitor. After the other doctors had left, I thought I would also try to convince the Rebbe to go to the hospital. I explained to the Rebbe that we had a lot of cardiac equipment here. We have many things we can do to help him, equipment-wise, but it would still be better to have a full staff and to have even more extensive equipment available in an intensive care unit in a hospital. The Rebbe still didn't want to go. He said, "Do you see this desk?" I said, "Yes." He pointed to his desk. He pointed to his chair. "Do you see my chair? Do you see these books?" And each time I said, "Yes, yes." He said, "This desk and this chair and these books have heard the tears and the energy of my Hasidim, of all my Hasidim, and this is the energy that's going to get me better."